So for Insane Asylum Plague, this is the Elixir Scrambler. This is the main menu. In this event, the only thing that matters is your troop count and then the number of troops. So this is our team porting in. And on the little mini map at the top there, you'll see on the left hand side the other team will be porting in shortly. So at the beginning of the week you can sign up for the Elixir Scramble, and then your R5 will decide who's going in and out and who will be priority access to the event, and then who will be secondary. And so you'll see on the left here when we go over, the other team has a couple priority members join, and then a bunch of people, when it opens up for substitute, join afterwards. So they do end up being outmanned in this match. There's also a 10-minute figure stuff out time. So you'll see me collecting resources, waiting for the event to start. Haven't done so at this point, that's when you set it to 2x, and then a match actually goes at a decent pace. Hero lineup, mostly free to play. So the healing tent, you can recoup soldiers, and you can heal, but it's not recommended. You'll see me do it in this match, but it was an accident. So the substitutes are about to port in. And I think on our side, most of our mains, I don't think there were too many subs. So the hammer they're talking about is actually a king assignment. It will go away before the match starts. It's possible it could go into the match, but most assignments will be able to get 5 minutes this way. And it's construction. So we have 4 people on them at this point. So the game's open. All the cities are neutral at this point. And I'm outmatched. So at 10 minutes into the game, the 3 in the middle that are not open right now, they're still shielded. They will open up. And you'll see we call it what happens. Now, it used to be a tactic beforehand to zero out your opponent. So you're going to see here when he attacks me, I have no one on my wall. So it comes up as a 0. And he's going to keep going, and he's going to try to force my city to work. He zeroes me out. But the mechanic's no longer in the game as of this week, so they weren't paying attention. So he's getting no points for his attempts here, which allowed Fabel to reinforce the city, although he bounced us. And that was a fatal mistake on his part. His coworker is going to have to come down to kick us out. You can see us picking up med packs. And you'll see med packs on the little mini menu as little yellow dots. Now I haven't played this on emulator, but when you click on the phone, it is not quite center. So you'll click where you think your city is, and then you have to scroll around and look for your city. So that's just something to be aware of. It's also not recommended to use your second, third, fourth squads because you lose so many troops. So you'll see here I pretty much, for most of the time, I only, and there's my mistake, but for the most part, we just send out our first and second squads. But you'll see there, it was 59 hours to heal your troops, and that's what happens. So, highly not recommended. You do not lose troops in this. In the real world, you come out with your 22,000 that you went in with, and you'll see me bring my troops back because I screwed up, but not recommended. And you don't have to do that, especially if you're losing at this point. Like, just don't waste your resources that you'll end up using in castle battles. So there at the hospital, we collected 90 soldiers. And they actually outpowered us in this situation. They should have won, but these guys I don't know what they were thinking, but I don't know if they lost a lot of troops in that initial burst. But I held them there for quite some time until I decided that I was going to lose against 224s, which I should have lost against the first one to begin with. And then we clean this one up here. Here I make a decision. Bad decision. Don't do this. Not recommended. So the way the hospital works is the two units that are kitty corner to each other with the plus sign, those are your hospital tents. And they restore troops. I believe it's like 35 soldiers every minute. Did have a couple people poured in here, but at this point I'm holding up 3 players. It would have been better to take the hospital tent on the left. And the attacks on the city seem to have slowed down at this point, but you'll see later there's still players that are trying to zero so their team wasn't on the ball as to the new rules, and it definitely contributed to their loss. And we're approaching 10 minutes, so we're all going to go center here in the next minute or so. So now the south one is the cursed altar, and it will make you take more damage when you take it. So if you're in a stress situation, which we're not, it might be strategic not to take it. Just depends on the situation. In this case, we end up taking them all. They probably had a glorious moment of, oh, we took 5. But it's really because we're moving. And it's recommended at this point that your heavies go center. So we had a heavier team in the middle, and I would be considered a medium at this point. And then the middle cities have more point generation compared to the sides. And then the castle is quite a significant difference in point generation when you hold it. So while our points are pretty close right here because we're holding the center castle, and they're also taking a debuff right now from the Cursed Altar, they're going to fall behind pretty quickly. And this was interesting. He decided to attack the castle instead of the campsite. So I went off to collect other stuff because he's not going to do anything. It's probably something they should change in the game, but when you take your troops off the wall, you take no losses. But even in real world, no heroes or soldiers assigned to your wall. If your squads are clicked off, you take 0 damage. They will just collect farm materials and RSS, and off they go. So I had sent out some farms here. Now with a full roster on my first squad, this was a fault. I should have recalled those farms, filled the main squad, launched the main squad, and then gone back out to the farms. I do recognize this while I'm playing and I'm deciding what to do, so you'll see some random clicking around and looking at my troops, deciding what's going to happen next. This is our third game. So I'm just bouncing at this point because I don't have troop load. It probably would have made sense to wait for someone with a full squad to take it and then do a reinforcement. But also recalling those farms, since I have 2,000 soldiers over there. Just, farming instead of fighting. Someone took the time to like me while we were in battle. So I have recalled one troop at this point. I should have recalled both. But we ended up taking it here. Go lay down. So we do have a breather. I'm just sending out notes to the team. Stop it, you two. So then, and at this point, we're out of troops. They're probably out of troops because they're losing. So you'll see it calms down and we take all. And at this point, we're 100,000 points ahead because of castle. And then we're just going to kick them in the balls and go kick them out of farms here in a second. And it's at this point, I'm not so I'm considering life choices, and then I'm going to port over to the farm, which will pull my troops out of the farm. And then clear all of their farmers. So we've full capped them at this point. I realize they're farming. And we're gonna go kick them out. And this is actually earning them quite a lot of points at the moment, but you'll see them stall out as soon as we start bouncing. Google autocorrect, just changing words. And you'll see when we teleport on the bottom left hand, you'll see the restore and the arrow. That's your cooldown for teleporting. And teleports are free in the event. I'm laughing at myself, probably to myself as well, but I misclicked 2 times there. Faked out by hammers, and I can't spell. Now we're not sure, but we think to get the collection points you have to farm and then bring it home. So you'll see our team recall at about 30 seconds to the end of the game. And I was hoping for logs, but we didn't get any. You'll see me leave my troop in after I bounced the last guy. But that's not for a few minutes yet. And they've given up. So what we're talking about there is when you teleport, if you are garrisoning, it will take your troops with you. And you'll see here, I'm gonna port out and bounce these guys once again. So you'll see at this point, they're again trying to zero me out. There's just, they weren't educated when they came into the game. And they're trying very hard. It's just not working. So you'll see we had recalled our troops. Our gathers. He's still trying to zero me out. But there's no one on the wall. And so that's it. So definitely some strategy that can be deployed depending on if you're weak or strong. And otherwise, that is the game.